Twitch and
Zoom.
Yeah.
Push all the buttons.
All right. Do you want to?
Oh, wait, are we supposed to be recording?
Do you want to count down for Audacity?
Yeah. Surprise, we're recording locally as well.
I actually remembered to get Audacity open this time. And I'm paying attention.
Yeah, I even sound checked.
I think what we're going to do is the local is more the backup now than the cloud recording, because the cloud recording is easier to record. But as we discovered, it can accidentally get switched around. So, everybody ready?
Ready.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
Recording a space podcast.
Recording in space.
You're all dead.
Hooray.
And I'm not all buzzy this time because I figured it out last time. I had, and John was correct, it was a grounding issue. I had run my USB cable behind my computer because it's long and gets in the way. It apparently ran across the power cable, and that was causing interference.
Always does it. All right. So
Now that I've thrilled everybody with talking about cable routing.
is there anybody actually out there in streaming land other than us?
I still haven't figured out how to tell. Other than the number of people
It
watching.
says 4 users, but one of them's me, and I think one of them's...
So Megan, you're slow cool?
No.
Oh,
all right.
Then, hello.
Okay. Whoever that is, welcome, and we're sorry for just gabbing about nothing. Hello, and welcome to Gold Wings Black Skies. Around the table, we have 4 members of Tachyon Squadron, played by Megan.
Hey everyone, this is Megan. I'm playing Micah Drexler, a veteran pilot that has a second chance.
Mike.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and I'm playing Barry Namazuko, a smarmy space bastard with the devil's own luck that grew up as a space mining shuttle pilot / smuggler, maybe? Who's to say? He may have connections to the mob. You don't know him.
You don't know.
This interview is over.
Rob.
Hello, I'm playing Lucette Zombie Forrester, a daring flyer from an industrial world.
And John.
Hi, I'm John Perry. I'm playing Mohau Mahai. He was martially trained at birth and a skilled pilot that fights for his family's honor.
Wow, martially trained at birth. That's
from birth. Yeah, at birth. Yes.
That's hardcore.
Right. Just came right out and had to dodge like 2 swords.
Little scalpel shivs taped to his little
obstacle course running right on from day one. I
didn't cry. It was a battle cry.
Yeah.
No.
To intimidate the other baby warriors.
Man, that nursery must have been a nightmare. Okay.
No, please, don't just call them baby warriors. They're obviously the infantry.
Oh my god.
All right, then double down.
I love it.
Okay, so
that was great, but I hate
it. That's pretty much my motto. Okay, so the first time out, you guys went to the planet Asami for your training. It was more of a trial by fire than your training cadre probably intended, as it looks like some folks decided to attack your training base. That was an opportunity for you guys to prove yourselves and to rub the nose of your new nemesis, the volunteer group's top scoring ace in the fact that you're better than him.
Good job bringing him home, guys.
I really appreciated that my personal nemesis has become the entire squad's nemesis. It's I really feel I feel loved.
Well, you know, he was a jackass to all of you. So
I don't view him as my nemesis. He's beneath me.
all right. Literally rising above it all. Taking the highest of roads. Wow, shows how it's done. Okay. So not, you know, the Tachyon and Tachyon squadrons did not have it all their own way in the defense of Asami. Several of your comrades were shot down, including the aforementioned Toad Schaefer, who now had to endure the ignominy of flying home in a captured enemy fighter.
No, we volunteered him to be in charge of that wing. I really think that's a great use of his skills.
Yep, he came back in Zombie's cargo compartment. We were going to use mine at first because I've got extra space back there, but cooler heads prevailed and made me realize, oh right, we should keep the smuggling compartment on the down low.
And more space is nicer.
Yes.
So
and less space is good for keeping Toad in the hole.
All right, Mike, you're officially on report.
You're the one that did it.
So,
I didn't name him Toad.
Actually, that is in the book. So, you compounded your new reputation for being able to react in with alacrity to any challenge by launching into space and defending Asami Station from a bombing run by another wave of fighters from whoever these people are that have suddenly decided that the Draconis industrial base really has too much in the way of mineral wealth. When you had mopped that little unpleasantness up, it turns out the cavalry shows up late as usual. The rest of the volunteer group, well, an entire squadron of the volunteer group, and the Draconis Navy's only destroyer show up to show the flag and provide reinforcements. With the Tachyon Squadron relieved, it is now your glorious opportunity to return to base at Draconis Station. As we start this episode, you all have been stuck in your cockpits for several hours, the better part of a day, as you transit from Draconis B to Draconis A, and are now on final approach to Draconis Station itself. How have you been spending the downtime? Sedatives are available. Let's start with Mahau.
We're flying, right? We're no point did we land between leaving and arriving here.
Nope, there are too many ships in this formation. The tender cannot support all of you, so you're having to rough it by living out of your ships.
Okay, now is there enough space to move around, or is this pretty much the cockpit and that's it?
You pretty much just got the cockpit.
Okay, well, I'm probably in some awkward position trying to do repairs. So if anyone was like looking into the cockpit I'm in, you're probably seeing my feet as I like had to shift around to flip upside down and work on some panel beneath the seat.
All right. And what about Micah?
I am catching up on my reading via audiobooks.
All right. Are you listening at quintuple speed?
Yes. Everyone else sounds like molasses when I try to talk to you now. And I'm talking like really fast.
And what about Lizette? Uh-oh.
Hey, there we are. My mic would not unmute, so it was a real catastrophe over here. Lucettes kind of in the same boat as Mahau, but not literally, because that would be uncomfortable. In that she had ended the last combat with some not insignificant damage. So she's going to be trying to make some repairs on the fly, quite literally in this case. And yeah, I think beyond that, I mean, you said sedatives were available. And I think that's really all that needs to be said.
All right. And what about Barry?
Just double checking. The stress for shields, does that clear at the end of combat? Or do shields have to be repaired when they get kind of head around a bit?
Shields have to be repaired.
Okay, so if I remember right, I took a small hit to my shields because I have a single physical stress for Barry himself. So we'll get to have Barry de-stress later on. Fun. So he's probably going to try to root around for the emergency backup repair manual or something like that he's probably squirreled away. Like he's probably conned a copy of the blue book off of one of the ground crew just for situations like this, and he's very carefully going through and trying to figure out what wires he needs to replace and what fuses he needs to replace to get the shields back to full.
All right, you can give me a technology roll if you want.
Okay, this is the fun part because I don't have that. So this is why he's being careful. Get the other die. Completely blank on the dice, which means that's a 0.
All right, you give yourself an electrical shock. It doesn't hurt, but it does remind you why other people get paid to do this.
Oh, I owe them so much beer. Wait, they owe me beer because I didn't actually get damaged that much. We owe each other beer. This is a good plan.
That's the best way to look at it.
This is a good plan.
All right.
So, just a quick question also. Since we've been cooped up since the battle, is it safe? I'm doing the bad thing and asking a question that I don't want to know the answer to. But I also love being an agent of chaos. So, do our fate points refresh? Or will they refresh after we decompress?
Yes, your fate points do refresh.
Okay.
Wait, do they?
You're the GM.
The book says at the beginning of each session.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
They're actually called refreshes because they refresh at the beginning of the session.
Yeah.
But some systems might say they don't.
Yeah, and there's been times in the past for other space campaigns that I've been in where it doesn't refresh if it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's like one big, huge session stitched together kind of thing.
Yeah. So your fate points have refreshed. So
hooray!
Since it's on my character sheet, we get 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So
some repairs on my sensors. That's kind of what I'm flipped upside down trying to reach.
All right. What's that?
I can let him repair his sensors.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I got a +1, which is average or fair.
You don't shock yourself, but I don't think the system's come back online.
Okay.
You have like an image, but you're pretty sure that's not up to date.
Yeah.
Either that or you're in a lot of trouble because it's showing like a whole bunch of Dominion fighters, and that might be some kind of capital ship, or it's showing you like a test pattern for the sensors that's like left in the memory.
I cut it off and like flip back upside down and go back to trying to get it working. Very disappointed.
So I did not fare much better with my repair roll. I got a -1. Starting off strong.
All right. You take a point of stress.
I'm taking a point of stress.
Yeah, you do get shocked, and it does hurt.
Ow!
Wait, so has pretty much everyone been shocked so far?
Yes.
I haven't been shocked.
Micah is unshockable.
I've just been disappointed.
Yeah.
Shock and
Campaign's very shocking.
Micah, you get you're suddenly aware of a alert or notification. You're suddenly made aware of a notification on your instrument panel.
Mm-hmm.
You have just gotten an update from one of the communications satellites in Draconis orbit. You have mail.
Oh, I'm going to read my mail. There's nothing else to do. Well, I guess except listening to my audiobooks at 4x speed. But
wow, you were at 5x before. You're slowing down.
I know.
It is a quick message from your wife, Callie,
Mm-hmm.
who says that their transport has just dropped out of FTL in the Draconis system, and she has made contact with the personnel officer at the DVG, who has provided your housing information.
Do we have a house?
You have an apartment.
Okay, that's good enough.
So she will be back at Draconis Station at about the same time you are.
Excellent. It's been how long since I've seen her?
About a month.
Okay. I'll write her back that, hey, Callie, things are going really well. Don't worry if you hear about any events at the training station. I'm doing fine. I can't wait to see our new place. Love, Micah.
And do the rest of you have dependents who will be staying with you?
I don't believe I do.
No.
Barry would. Or at least he'd have the option to. So, yeah, we'll say that Valerie would be coming in also. His common law wife.
All right. So you have a few people waiting for you when you line up for approach at Draconis Station. It's just like you remembered it from your first time here. It is a bustling trade hub. It's the primary station for the system. So this is where starships offload for the most part. There are also system ships that dock here for supplies and personnel, and the traffic from the planet is not insubstantial because Draconis Station is actually the seat of government for the entire star system, not the planet itself. Does anyone do anything showy as they approach, or are you making textbook approaches?
Mal makes a textbook approach.
I want to get down on the ground as soon as I can, so I'm just doing textbook because I assume that's fastest.
Yes. Well, you could go faster, but you'd be likely to run into something. You probably don't want that.
No, not when Callie's down there.
Lucette has no one waiting for her, so she is going to try to showboat a little bit, in spite of the fact that her ship is damaged.
All right, give me a piloting roll.
Because I am a masochist. That is a +1.
All right. So that means that you don't embarrass yourself.
Yes.
And you know, you do like a little side. You sort of slip from side to side and draw people's attention to the fact that you are flying on manual approach. You know, you're using manual controls to fly in, and you don't do a terrible job of it. At the same time, you're not any better than the landing program that was designed like 200 years ago.
To do the exact thing I didn't do.
There is a very large, blustery-looking officer standing near the hatch to the hangar, and he will stride over to your ships as you power down, and the ground crew bring over the support equipment and ladders for you to make an easy descent from your ships. Well, looks like the conquering heroes are back home again.
Heck
Yes.
yeah, and ready for more action.
Home again, riggedy jig, boss. I mean, sir.
Yeah, well, welcome to the squadron. I'm glad to have all of you aboard. It's good to see some hard chargers giving those apes over in Axion Squadron something to write home about. You know, I'm sorry we didn't get to spend much time together before you shipped out, but you know, we need all the pilots we can get on the line. The name's Karen, VJ Karen. People call me Skipper around here.
Nice to meet you, Skipper.
Aye, aye, Skipper.
Commander Drexler, it's a pleasure to meet you. I heard a lot about you.
Thank you. I'll just sort of hold out my hand for him to shake.
He will shake your hand.
Is Skipper like higher rank than us?
Yeah, he is the commander of Tachyon Squadron.
That's what I figured. So I would give the proper stiff salute.
You know, I heard about you, son. I don't. We don't go in for much saluting around here, but I appreciate the gesture. He'll salute back. He is affecting a very casual air, and then he will reach over as your hand goes down and like squeeze very hard as he shakes your hand.
And I just like look kind of like is thrown off by that because I don't expect the person in charge to behave this way.
All of you are welcome. We've got the rest of the squadrons lined up at the Spacer's Rest, ready to buy you some rounds. So everybody get cleaned up and let's just forget this whole thing ever happened, huh? He gestures at the obvious damage to several of your ships.
So,
Works for me, sir.
with my parents being ambassadors, would they be at this station or would they be somewhere else?
They would be here.
Okay.
Would it be appropriate for them to recognize your presence?
I imagine it would be a very minimalistic acknowledgement because
They send their aides.
priority.
An aide shows up with, "I have a message from your parents," and they just nod once and then walk away.
The
Well, no,
most
they
minimalistic
give
acknowledgement.
you a card.
Yeah, it's probably has some letter that has some very veiled congratulations in the hopes that we maintain.
Did they use the nice seal, or is it just the day-to-day seal on the wax?
Oh, it's probably a casual seal because within their position they can't offer me too much to maintain.
Not even a fruit basket.
It's the you have not embarrassed your family today seal.
Right.
So it's
Which
the
is-
seal that has Velcro on the bottom, so it can just be opened and closed a bunch of times.
I mean, it's like that, but it would be an equivalent of running into a hug from both of them for other people.
All right. So your quarters are comfortable. It might be the best that Luzette has had in quite a while. It is a definite step up for Barry. It is a profound step down for Mahal. In other circumstances, it would be an insult.
But I know that they wouldn't know to have done this as an insult, so I don't take it as such.
So Barry is going to Barry's going to roll empathy to see if he can figure out that Mahal is kind of slightly put out by this, because I want him to roll rapport after that to try to cheer him up. Did you see how big this is? It's big enough for my entire family back there.
John,
just
you
kind
can-
of cheer him up.
John, you can set the difficulty for this.
Okay, I mean, well, I'll just go by what I don't know. I mean, I have 0, and I have nothing that would be deceptive. So I would just say you could just have done that because that's kind of one of the relationships we have established, that Catfish has my absolute trust. So I probably
Confide in him.
pick up on it.
Yeah.
So I'll try to make him feel better that I know that you know that I know that this is not spacious for you, but it's also spacious for the rest of us. So I'll play it up so other people won't necessarily notice. That being said, Barry is definitely going to be figuring out, man, we could store a whole bunch of stuff in here. Holy crap.
Lucette is doing that Sound of Music spin and then flings herself onto her bunk as if it was you get into the hotel room after a long flight and you dive onto the bed, but the bed isn't actually that comfy.
Have our for those of us that have dependents, have they arrived
Yeah.
at the quarters at this point?
When you are cleared through whatever in processing you have to wade your way through, Val will be already in your quarters.
Okay. So Val will probably be already scoping stuff out for like where to put some of the weight equipment and the treadmill and stuff like that, just to make sure that all of her workout needs are going to be maintained.
You know, you're going to need more resistance workouts there, Barry. You're going to spend a lot of time in microgravity, and I'm really worried about your muscle tone.
Exactly. This is why one of my my decompression things is feeling the burn. Because she isn't only my personal trainer, she's my wife.
Why are you just standing there?
Oh, right. Sorry. And he jumps into her arms. Cut to black.
The weight machine, stupid.
And Barry gets thrown out of the room like Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince.
Yeah, you haven't earned that. Yeah, you owe her like at least 10 sets. Okay.
Moving on.
When you have...
No.
What?
Micah's gonna find her room too. She'll tip-tap her way down the hall urgently.
You have to, I'm sure, with decreasing levels of politeness, decline offers of assistance.
Mm-hmm.
And Callie will greet you at the door with a hug.
All right. I will hug her back and shove the door closed.
All right.
And fade to black.
Fade to black.
Yeah, you don't have any weird hang-ups with your significant other. So, you know, that's reserved for Barry. There is a standing invitation from the squadron commander, which is the nearest thing you'll get to an order, that you all are supposed to show up for drinks.
How inappropriate would it be to bring Callie with me?
Not.
Okay. And I will go.
Yeah. So, she is family. What about the rest of you? Is anybody snubbing your CO?
Oh, hell no. Free drinks? Barry's earned these drinks.
I mean, and this is really the time to tell stories about Toad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how could we refute? I mean, we can't deny an order, right? I mean, CO says, go drinking, you know, far be it from me to say no and be insubordinate.
All right. So let's see. Who do we go after first?
Uh-oh.
I probably cringe a little inside as soon as you see drinks.
Yeah, it is a raucous atmosphere, as not everyone in Tachyon Squadron was with you. There were several other detachments off doing temporary duty elsewhere. But now the squadron is back at Draconis Station. Everybody is back home. Everybody's had some downtime with family, and now they are looking forward to a stretch back on the station, pulling just normal patrol duty without all of the TDY or the long-haul escort missions to the jump points or anything like that. You are hanging around local space, and you get to live it up for a while those suckers in Graviton Squadron pull time at Asami Station.
Can't wait.
So everybody is having a great time. There are several poker games already underway when you arrive. There's a flight that has just come back from the gas extraction facility on one of the outer Jovians, and they are playing pool. Everybody wants to buy you a drink because you had logged your first kill with the squadron. When Barry, out of nowhere, someone thumps you on the back.
I'm used to being thumped on the back by Val, so I soak it and kind of turn around and go, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah, so you look up, and then up, and then up, and then you're looking at a giant of a man. He looks like there's no way he could possibly fit into a fighter cockpit, and he probably doesn't. It's one of your buddies from Asami, actually. What are you doing here? His name is Carlisle. He was on a competitor's ship during your previous occupation.
Oh, well, I'll be damned. Carlisle, as I live and breathe. What the hell are you doing here? Are you in Tachyon also, or are you here for something else?
Well, I got a good lead on a decent gig. I'm going to be helping out with your support with your ground crew.
Oh, hell yeah. Like, I know we were friendly competition back in the day, but I mean, I'm honestly glad to see a familiar face with the ground crew.
Yeah, well, everybody's got to pull their weight if we're going to keep those Dominion assholes out of our backyard, right?
Yeah, it's our stuff. We're going to keep it.
Yeah.
And we pound fists. And Barry's noticeably, when they do, Barry's noticeably gets knocked much further backwards.
Give me an empathy roll.
Empathy, not rapport. Okay. Hopefully there isn't any hard feelings or anything.
Can I also roll empathy? Because I'd be watching this.
Yeah, you can roll empathy as well.
So I got a good result, +3.
I also have +3.
All right. Barry, you see the bright light of avarice in his eyes as he sees an opportunity to make money off of you. You know that over the years, you have made some close calls. And some of those calls were made in proximity to Carlisle's ship. So he might have some moderately incriminating evidence.
Would I likewise have moderately incriminating evidence on Carlisle?
Yours is somewhat incriminating evidence, which is why you sense that he thinks he can make this work for him.
I just realized that this could have been I could have used my stunt lie detector or danger sense for this potentially.
Something to bear in mind. How are you going to respond to him? Or is Luzette going to say anything?
I don't think Lucette really understands enough to do anything. She was just making sure this guy wasn't being antagonistic, because if he was, she'd pick a stupid fight. but I don't feel it's appropriate at the moment. Avarice just triggers as, oh, business partner or something, not someone I need to punch in the face right now.
All right. Now, Mahal.
Did we lose
Yep.
Mike?
Oh, there's John. Oh, is Mike on?
He looks
Uh-oh.
frozen.
He's in
Look at
shock.
his expression.
He's so shocked. He's just can't speak.
Let's see.
Well, let's take care of John while.
All right. Actually, no. Let's go with Luzette. Roll. Notice.
All right. My notice is so good, I didn't even write it down on the sheet.
Uh-oh.
Yep. So let's see how that goes. That is a -1. I notice nothing.
All right. All of a sudden, you go from watching Barry and Carlisle have their little catching up session to looking in the face of a very stern-looking woman who seems very unhappy with you for some reason.
Can I help you?
I have to express my thanks for your timely assistance of my pilot. Thank you for helping Toad out.
Ah, he's one of yours.
Yes. I trust this incident will cement our friendship and that we'll have no more problems with each other, will we?
Oh, certainly not. I'm always happy to help out a fellow pilot in need.
That's good to know. I'm Cap, by the way. Cap Sokolova.
Lucette, they call me Zombie. She'll shake her hand, as firm a handshake as she can manage.
She is looking at you as though she is mapping all of the points that like she is mapping what points she wants to strike on your body to do the most damage possible.
I'd like to do something similar, but rather than physical, I'm going to, as we're having this exchange, trying to read her stance, her body language for how I could push her buttons if I needed to provoke or antagonize her.
All right, you want to create advantage?
I do.
All right.
I'd like to empathy and advantage. Yes.
Okay.
That is with a +3.
All right. She has. Wow. You're going to not get an advantage. She rolled a 5.
Goodness.
Discipline happens to be one of her strong suits.
To be fair, I rolled nothing. I rolled a 0. It's all just between skill and stunt.
Yeah. Cold as ice. And for that, I will let you know what one of her aspects is. It's I take care of my own.
All right, and I think even I could glean that one. So yeah.
So she is going to just shake your hand and like stare into your eyes, and then you all enjoy your night. We're going to be seeing a lot of each other, I think.
You enjoy yourself too, and just keep an eye out on Toad. I'd hate for his the incident for him to have any sort of injuries or something. He's I know ejecting can be kind of rough.
Do you now? She's just going to stalk away.
Mike's back.
Hello. Sorry about that. My internet decided to choke on something.
So the commander of Tachyon Squadron stopped by and stared down Luzette for making her best pilot look bad.
Really, I feel like he made himself look bad.
Yeah, but you know how these things go. They never really take credit for their own shortcomings.
I didn't make her feel any better about it.
Hey, that's not your job.
Exactly. Our jobs are shoot down the enemy.
Mahao, what is the name of your trade syndicate?
Oh, you want me to send it to you or just?
Just what is it?
Oh, Shinzumi.
Shinzumi.
I'm sorry, Shinzo Mizu. I said
Shinzo Mizu. All right. Well, the a representative or some sort of courier will come to the door. They will not actually enter the bar, but they will wait to be recognized by one of the wait staff, and then they will hand him a pouch and point to you.
I will go receive it.
They will like gesture for you to open it and then step meaningfully aside, as though, clearly indicating that they're to await a response. And inside, you find a formal invitation to dinner for you and your wingmates.
Like, I was expecting this letter, but then I kind of unconsciously look back.
Okay, wait. This is a golden opportunity. He looks back. Mike, what's Barry doing?
So since my internet had cut out, how did we decide to resolve the Carlisle interaction? Or is it still ongoing?
You guys are still kind of actually no, he just shook your hand and kind of faded off into the distance.
Okay. So Barry would probably be talking up Wahao to Val and trying to start an arm wrestling competition idea of turning in the back of her head because he wants to see what would happen.
All right. What is Micah doing?
Micah is getting a drink at the bar with Kaylee. Probably trying to talk to the skipper.
All right. The skipper is really big into talking to you. because you are freaking hardcore.
Yeah.
So he doesn't recognize like the inspiration porn part of it. He just like entirely enthusiastically, sincerely is like psyched out by how you just continue to fly.
I certainly do feel inspiring. Thanks.
It's very awkward. But and what is Luzette doing?
Shots. Is the bar loud and rowdy enough for body shots to be acceptable, or is it too early in the day for that?
It is just now becoming time for that since Mahau looked at you last. So this is somewhat alarming to him. All right, so Mahau, we snap back to you.
All right. I have an eyebrow twitch as I try to maintain my composure and realize that it's one of those things where it wasn't really a option. There was only one appropriate answer. And of course I accept it and I write a response.
All right.
Do you carry like your own calligraphy pen on you?
I mean, it's inside of a wooden case. Yes. For signing it up and I of course know calligraphy and I sign it as appropriately.
This is perfect.
With a flourish. This is like the flourish is completely out of character for everything else he does.
All right. So, Barry, Carlisle is going to sidle back up to you and say, so, is there a place we can continue this conversation in a more discreet fashion?
Well, you'll have to tell me. I mean, you've been ground crew already. You must know all of the ins and outs of this place, right? Like, you probably know the lay of the land here better than I do right now. And I'm going to roll rapport to
All
kind
right.
of fluff his ego enough to let him to catch him off. Holy moly, guard enough. Not sure if the camera will catch that. Ignore the red dice, only the fate dice that are all pluses.
Oh yeah, we see it.
All right. So yeah, what's your rapport? +3, right?
Nope, my rapport is great, so that's an 8.
All right. So you blast him out of the water rhetorically. He says, maybe we should start over. But yeah, there's a cargo bay, just outside of our sector that maybe you can meet me there in a couple hours. Here's my comm code.
Okay, I'll bring drinks.
All right. Are you planning to murder him?
No, I know we've already kind of established that Barry's the type that wants to turn enemies into friends as much as possible. In one of those, keep your enemies close, but keep your friends close, your enemies even closer, but keep your frenemies even closer still, because they'll at least laugh at you when you mess up, but will bail you out if need be.
Yeah.
This is a very complicated personal code.
Yeah, it seems more like you're as complicated as possibly.
Barry watched way too much Basilisk Crystal X growing up.
Where do you keep acquaintances?
arm's length? No. Acquaintances are just friends that
Don't know it yet.
don't know it yet and haven't managed to owe you anything yet.
Okay. So, as the night wears on, Micah.
Yep.
Roll empathy.
No, Millie's back.
Hi, Millie.
All right.
Kitty.
I am okay at this. I only got a 1 though.
All right. It looks like Callie is uncomfortable about something.
Is something wrong? I say to the side.
I wanted to talk to you about something.
Oh, is this really the right spot?
I don't know. I'm just afraid that like if I don't talk to you about it now, it's just gonna sit there and I'm
we'll go sit over here, out of the way.
okay. You know I wanted to come out here, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's the best thing for you. But I wasn't really sure what I was going to do. But I've heard that when I was on our way here, I met someone on the ship.
Okay. What kind of someone?
They were they're in hyperspace cartography.
Oh. So that's a relief. They do the same work as you.
Yeah. He was telling me that the Office of Stellar Cartography has some positions open.
Okay.
On their survey ships.
Not on the station then.
Well, we'd be based here, but we wouldn't, be here all the time.
That makes sense. You traveling, and I'll be traveling too, so it's only fair.
Is this okay?
I think it'll be fine. I haven't had much time to think about it yet.
I'm sorry. I'm supposed to meet with him tomorrow.
Oh, well, good. Maybe we can still do dinner though, right?
Yeah. We're gonna do dinner. I was thinking we could go shopping, and one of the other pilots that came in before you was mentioning that she knew a good place in the entertainment district that I think you would really like.
Okay, that sounds great.
Okay.
I think it'd be good for you to have something to do other than, just sit around worrying or not worrying, whatever you do while I'm gone.
If you think it's okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be great.
All right. As Micah is having this difficult moment.
She was having a moment of panic that she met someone else and was breaking up with her at the bar in front of all her work friends.
Yeah. What is Luzette doing in the background?
Actually, as you're going through all this, I've been sitting here ready to pounce. That as they're coming to the end of this incredibly tense and awkward conversation, Lucette is going to come almost staggering up to them because she's been doing shots, and she's carrying 3 shots and a lighter. Like, Hydra, let's do shots. Let's host our new home away from home. And she starts setting them down on the table. I got one for me, you, and
This is Callie, my wife.
And Callie, here's one for you. And she starts lighting them.
Oh, thank you.
I'm a zombie, by the way.
That doesn't surprise me.
I can be very surprising.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, no.
You could be surprised.
I don't think so, she says. And she's going to turn her back to you.
I will do the shot because this is very stressful.
Yeah, I was just going to say, oh, damn it, Barry doesn't have a good enough stealth roll to just walk by and palm the extra shot and take it and walk away.
No, Micah needs that shot.
Yeah, Micah's going to do the second shot now.
Oh, Micah.
All right, so the dinner invitation, Mahal, is in 2 days.
Okay, that was going to be the question.
Yeah. You're not going to have to endure some sort of sitcom-esque situation where you have to make sure that Micah attends 2 dinners.
I thought you were going to say where we go to the dinner right after this party and we're all hammered.
Yeah, that was my general concern.
No.
I hear body shots. I was like, oh no.
No, they're not going to. Your family would not be so gauche as to invite you to dinner on the same day.
That's true. They would have to give me time to prepare as if I am. I'm not a soldier, but I am. So my issue is I will have to find something appropriate to wear. I guess all my things would have gotten here, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll be able to dress appropriately. I don't know if I'll be able to get.
The answer to the question you're trying to figure out a nice way to ask is no.
Well, so here's the thing. As soon as we'd find out that we've been voluntold to this formal dinner meeting, Barry would go, okay, big man, where do we suit? Like, what do we have to do to suit up so we don't embarrass you?
And it's like I was like, that's probably when I see the flaming drinks.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm hoping.
I'm sure I will be able to find some place to get you all dressed appropriately for the occasion, at least.
Assuming they don't set themselves on fire, you might think.
Right.
Barry, you get a text message.
I check the text message.
Although for Micah, it might have seemed like a million years have gone by. It's only been a couple hours. But Carlisle says, I've got a line on someone you want to meet.
Okay, I'll type in like 20 minutes. And the room code for where he said that would be a good meeting spot. So
Okay.
or 20 minutes, room X question mark?
Yeah. Now,
Okay.
are you going to bring backup?
Barry is slowly looking down at his phone, looking up at everyone else, and thinks, well, if it's a question of if we're going to be have the means to get the proper equipment and accoutrement for the shindig in a few days, I may have someone that can help out with that. Potentially. You guys want to come along and find out? Big man, you got my back?
It seems as though our other team members are enjoying the spirits. Perhaps you and I can take care of this.
Yeah, like Barry looks out over at Luzette, and how is Micah following Luzette's lead by now?
She is asking Callie to go get them some drinks to celebrate. That's what we're doing. We're celebrating.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if it would be noticed to figure out if Micah looks like she wants desperately out of that situation enough that she'd be willing to hair off, or if it would be empathy to know that she'd rather have the plausible deniability.
That sounds like empathy to me.
Yeah.
Okay. That is a net blank, like 0 on empathy total. So
All
it's
right. That glower of hers seems like it's set in pretty well. Or is it more of a grimace?
It's a little bit of a grimace right now.
Yeah, she looks busy. I don't. We should be able to do everything just by ourselves. We don't need to get in the way of that just yet. Ooh.
What's up?
Ooh. Here's a question. Can I use my danger sense to figure out how much backup I would actually need?
Well, here's the thing. As far as your danger sense goes, you know that if you need backup, there isn't enough of it in the world.
Okay. So it's
just, will there be a way?
Yeah, it's probably best not to have the entire team in for this also for alibi purposes. So yeah, we'll be able to handle it by ourselves.
All right.
Yeah, he kind of pops his back and cracks his neck a bit, and he looks over to where Val is, because he's a little social butterfly, but Val surprisingly also is, because she tries to get out her business card to as many people as possible, so to speak, so she can train everyone to make sure everyone's like best they can be, and if they can be a good contact later, that's good too.
Now,
She's an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Now, will Zombie have accepted the challenge of a drinking contest?
Oh, yes.
All right. In that case, that is going on.
Barry just go like, okay, they're there, and oh boy, Val's there now too. Okay, yeah, Yeah, I ain't going over there for a bit. Okay, let's go, Mai Tai.
So,
All right.
Yes.
if I
It's like,
understand
this is not.
zombies in a drinking contest with Val.
Yeah.
Does that count as picking a stupid fight?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, definitely.
That's one of my decompressions.
All right. Well,
I'll mark off that stress.
I'll give you a fate point.
I do not envy her hangover.
Yeah.
All right. Is anyone else carrying stress, actually?
I still have a single point. I'm not sure if the workout in the room when we
No,
got back
that
to
will,
the cubes.
that will have counted if...
Okay, so I can clear that off now then.
Well, if you want that to have counted, you give me a fate point.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I will. Ooh, but I am going right in for friends with low places
Okay,
right
that'll
now.
work.
Hmm?
All right, yeah, that'll work. I'll give you a fate point for that.
Okay.
All
I have
right.
one stress, but I assume I'm about to get either retail therapy or mark provider. Well, yeah, I have already been painting symbols on the ship when I
Yeah.
stopped them from painting my name on the blackfish.
Yeah. Okay. You, Barry, and Mahal are moving through the bowels of Draconis Station, and you find that you've crossed out of the sector that is assigned to the Draconis volunteer group, and you're in one of the normal freight handling zones. And you step into a large cargo hold. On one end, there is a huge set of doors that opens into a cargo elevator that can carry pallets up to the docks where the big ships actually transship cargo from the rest of the system or even from other systems.
Hmm.
But some of it ends up here. Carlisle is standing with a couple of people, including a man in a very fine suit and 4 people in slightly less fine suits. All of them have very prominent bulges about their persons in places that are stereotypically associated with concealed firearms.
You got
Man.
this, guys.
So I'm like kind of looking at Barry like, what exactly are we doing here?
This could be a good business opportunity. It's always good to find out the contacts and the lay of the land for wherever we go, just in case. If you don't need to say anything if you don't want to. I'm not sure. It's entirely I would know his whole deal with his parents being ambassadors and everything, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. It's entirely possible that this is a good networking opportunity for you and your clan for scoping out the competition. Who's to say? We won't find out until we find out. And Barry stretches and cracks his back a bit, and there's a slight twinkle at his wrist as he's getting his monofilament blade loose in the sheath a bit, so it will be able to be taken out quickly if need be.
I can see now. I'm going to have regret. I'm going to regret having a relationship with Catfish has my absolute trust.
Oh, it's
Because I'm just bought that wholesale. Like, yeah, this could benefit. And
I
that's pretty wise.
if it makes you feel any better, I wasn't expecting to have the Yakuza show up immediately in the show, but you know, it is what it is.
Well, no,
That
it actually makes sense that it's the two of us in this situation.
Hey, I've got a good chiropractor, the leader says as he steps towards you. He can help you take care of that back problem you got.
Oh, thank you very much for the offer. It's just my trainer worked me pretty hard this afternoon as soon as I got off the ship. So it's just working some of the kinks out.
Ah, the kinks, yeah. I imagine you've got quite a few of those. Name's Joe Freeman. Nice to meet you. Barry, is it?
That's my name, and Barry reaches out for a handshake.
He will shake your hand.
Barry gives a completely stone Actually, Barry will rapport through handshake to give a good handshake.
All right, he will.
Because I have rapport for I have to use it whenever I can.
He will try to win you over as well.
So that is a 5.
I also got a 5. You just stare into each other's eyes and shake, maybe a little too long. Maybe you're staring into each other's eyes.
We both tried the trick to get each other to stop shaking hands at the exact same time, where we both extend our middle finger, or not middle, index finger, and lightly stroke the inside of their wrist.
Yeah.
And we both stop and look down and go like, and burst out laughing.
Yeah,
The laughing's a bit forced.
He's going to try to outdo you by wrapping you in a hug.
Barry's going to hug back and clap and give a
bit of
a kiss on the cheek, like, haha, I can tell we're going to be great friends already. Is my danger sense going off at all?
Oh, yeah. You can feel that this guy has a blaster in his pocket.
He's one of those
He's
god
happy to see you.
And he is happy to see me.
He is happy to see you. You also notice give me actually a notice roll.
Okay, both of us or just Barry?
Just Barry.
Okay.
Danger sense can apply, I guess.
Excellent. So that is that's a 6. Fantastic.
All right, you recognize those markings because you've carried crates like this on some of your freelance cargo delivery jobs. This cargo bay is full of merchandise that belongs to one of, if not the biggest player in organized crime in the whole Draconis system, and he is currently hugging you.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out if can we tag our decompression aspects as aspects in of themselves?
No, they are not aspects.
Okay. I just slotted them into the trouble slot, so that threw me off. Okay, I am trying to figure out... Okay, I'm not sure if I'll need to roll rapport for this or not, but Barry is going to slowly disengage from the hug and kind of hold him out at arm's length and pat him on the shoulders and, what can I do for you, boss? Like, kind of show that, like, show subservience in a way that won't compromise things at all.
All right. So you've run cargo for this guy before, and you realize that he probably recognized your name.
Because it's like, is there anything that you need transported throughout the sector?
Well, you see, that's the thing, is that I like to make friends, because you never know when a friend in the right place is going to be the difference between life and death, right? Am I right?
Barry, grinning, nods and looks directly at Carlisle. Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
Right, boss, Carlisle says. So, I was thinking, I've got a couple of interesting items that I figured maybe a good patriot like myself might consider donating to the cause.
Barry nods.
And he will gesture at a line of crates. There are 4 of them. And say, some people might say that having things like this in your inventory makes you a less than reputable person. But I like to think of myself as someone who supplies very specific connoisseurs, shall we say, people with discerning tastes and very special needs.
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. It's the kind of thing that there's a supply and demand for things, and you're a extremely intelligent and handsome fellow. You know exactly when how to make sure that if there is any demand, that you'll have the supply required for it in advance.
Exactly. So, I think we're on the same page. And he is going to have his men open the crate. And you're looking at, in the crate, 2 vortex missiles.
Oh, that's some spicy caviar indeed. Now, who is there any specific party that you'd want this this caviar to be delivered to?
I hear there's a new
Unopened, I'm assuming.
What's that?
Unopened, I'm assuming.
Well, that's the thing. I hear there's this new outfit in town. They call themselves Tiki Flight.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like they could use stuff like this. What do you think?
Oh, I'm fairly certain I know at least one person that would benefit from such fine, rich caviar as this.
Well, and sometime there may come a need for me to ask for a favor. We understand each other?
Oh, of course. To be honest, I was I was expecting you to ask me to make a delivery before we got any benefits like this. I will definitely make sure that this well, I don't really need to make sure that this gets into the right hands because one of your compatriots there, and he nods at Carlisle, already knows where my dock is, or where my hangar is.
Well, it's good to know that we everything just sort of works itself out, huh?
Hmm.
And we'll just say each of these is a contribution to the cause. There are 4 of you, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, just works out. What a coincidence. He is going to pat you on the shoulder and walk out with his boys.
What was Joe? Did Joe ever say his last name, or he just said Joe?
Freeman.
Freeman. Okay.
So as soon as they are out of the room and Barry stops and listens to make sure that nobody stayed behind and is listening, Barry is going to spin around and put his shoulders on Mahao's, or his hands on Mahao's shoulders, and lean and go, "Holy shit!"
Like, what have you done? Like, you will regret this. You know that.
Oh, buddy, I'm already regretting it. But I mean, I guess I know why my ship was the one that got the extra cargo space now, eh? That was probably prearranged because I'm not sure if you're familiar with Mr. Freeman there, but he's when I was mentioning that you may be scoping out some of your competition for your family. Slightly different wheelhouse, I think. Acer, what was the name of...
That my family's criminals, are you?
Well, sorry, Acer, would everyone be familiar with Mr. Freeman's mob inclinations?
Not necessarily. He's somewhat low-key.
Okay. So I'll say he's subtle. He doesn't make waves in the area. Part of that is helped by pilots that transport goods for him that are extremely good and handsome, and sometimes get into fighter pilot squadrons. And I kind of lay everything out for him, like, so he knew who I was in advance, and I didn't recognize him until after the hugging, and so if I'm surprised I didn't get my throat slit right there. So that's something. Yeah, I would recommend we don't use these unless we absolutely have to. Like he shoves a thumb over at the vortex missiles, because Carlisle over there is one of the grounds crew for our flight, so he'll know if they get used, and he'll be able to snitch on us. Well, not... Yeah, he snitched on us already, but basically, Mr. Freeman will know when the favors are due, so to speak.
I'm going to assume you know what you're doing, but I'm not going to have his
Yep.
Shit.
You don't need to have anything to do with this at all. This is basically all of my baggage. My baggage arriving at the baggage claim pretty quickly. This is a very efficient airport. My goodness.
Yeah. I don't think we should share this with the others.
Yeah, if we do share it with them, we should probably mention that these are emergency rations, so to speak. Like the finest of caviar. This is the Sunday finest. We only bring out the fine china when big business is. These analogies are getting away from me. Yeah.
I'm just like, my eyebrow is getting higher and higher and higher as it's just like.
On the plus side, at dinner with your parents, you can say that you've made a new friend.
And we're done there.
This eyebrow hit maximum.
We cut back to the bar, and Lucette is still. She's drinking with Val, but they're on to water now. And we pick up mid-conversation, and Lucette's saying, I have been thinking about working out more. And she has the business card in hand,
All right. I hope you all had fun.
Oh man, yes.
Absolutely.
This has been a good exercise in seeing how much I can blather and get away with not getting shanked. So that's something.
I'm
Always a
just
plus.
glad you didn't shank the Yakuza.
I'm very glad that I didn't, because that would be very bad for everyone.
I'm glad you didn't bring the drunken belligerent along.
Yep.
All right. Why don't we go ahead and hit stop?
Wait, do an outro
Oh.
where you promote all of our websites.
Oh, yeah. Megan tells me what to do because I need it. All right. So thank you for watching and or listening. Around the table, we've had Rob.
Hi, I'm Rob. You can find me on Twitter at Boudet, and that's all I'm doing right now. So that's where you can find me.
You're doing pretty awesome at it, though.
I try.
John.
Hi, I'm John. You can find me on Twitter as Sleepy, SLEYPY. Not really doing a whole lot myself other than gaming.
Mike.
Hi, I'm Mike. You can find me on Twitter at Tokan. That's Tokkan. And you can also find me playing a character named Morg on the SHU podcast. There's streams specifically Nebulous Nights. And you can find them at SHU podcast on Twitter and S House Studios for their web presence. It's like comic books for your ears.
And Megan.
Hey everyone, this is Megan. I'm playing Commander Micah Drexler. Shifting relationship changes aside, you can find me on Twitter at Curium247, or tweeting for this podcast at Old Wings Pod, or tweeting for our main feed at TRF Podcast.
So yes, go to theredactedfiles.com. That's where you can find more than 200 episodes of actual play goodness, including episodes with all of these fine people. This is Acer.
Hooray!
This is Acer. I've been your GM. You can find me on Twitter at Acer_Tolentino, and we'd like to all thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
And stopped.
All right. Was there anybody actually here for that one?
Wait.
There were... Ooh, there's a number of people that are in the chat right now.
Oh no, there are people actually.
Yeah, there is a guy who's popping in and out because he added us as a friend, so I could see him jumping from place to place that he was